Hey guys, this is Richard from Nova Hobbies here for you with a new out-of-box unboxing video. I'm sure everybody can guess what this is by now, but this is the new Horner Shipyards Stargazer Sagan Class model, and I've already opened this obviously, so this is just unpacking again because I already wanted to look through everything. But this is a well done model, and I went ahead and I ordered it with the Aztec decals, which we'll go over as well. We'll go over that in a minute, but I just figured I would pull this apart and let everybody take a look and see what's in the box, because there's a lot of goodies in this box. So we've got upper pylons, lower pylons, and I'm going to pull all of this out shortly here. The pieces, parts for the connectors for the pylons. That's the back piece. And here's what everybody really wants to see. Here's the hulls. And this is 1 to 1400 scale. This is the Horner Shipyards version. So it's not a huge model, but he put it together so that it's lightable. There's a lot of space on the inside here. Looks like most of the clear parts can be inserted from outside in, which is nice. And let's see. Yeah, that fits together really, really well. There's very little room on the lip here. It's kind of like the Duderstadt. It's got a really, really sharp, razor sharp edge here. So there's really no alignment pins for the edge. But he put in a lot of alignment pins and holes just on the inside here and then all along in the middle. So it actually lines up really easily to make the main hull here. And let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. It's in a pretty translucent white plastic. I believe he uses Soraya Tech, but I just want to show you some of the detail on this because this is really, really well detailed. And it's going to be kind of hard to pick up with the white, but there you can get in on some of the windows there. It's got the phaser banks already. It's got the phaser banks well molded in. And this is just an off-the-cuff, out-of-box review, so if you hear me mumbling, that's why. And the bottom half, I'm just putting it up against this so that you've got a little bit better view. I'm trying to get some of the detail there. There we go. Yeah, it's really, really nicely detailed. These greebly pits here, they're not going to show up too well under the white plastic. Let me see if I can get in closer before it tells me that my focus is off. But yeah, you can see how well detailed these are here. And this is the bottom part, so you've got two separate pylons that come off of the bottom here. And even without any sanding, because I have not done any sanding on this, these parts fit in together pretty well. And that just balances in like that. That's a flush mount on the back end there. So that's cool. And there is a lot of room on the inside. Unlike the other, especially the Duderstadt model, the Intrepid, there's like no room to light that up, but it's a pain in the butt to light. But this one, there's going to be plenty of room to run COB LED light strips, things like that. And where are they? There's a lot of nacelles in here. Oh, clear parts. We got a few different clear parts tabs here. Now, I asked him to do something specific. This was just an experiment for me. I wanted to see how these would look in blue resin, so he had these printed up for me in blue resin. But they don't look great in blue, and he said that it was just kind of a pain in the butt. So most of these are going to be in white, but these are all the parts for the warp nacelles, and I'm going to have to paint them clear blue anyway. So that was a experiment that didn't turn out well. So I think all of the parts are going to be in this clear plastic here. But this is still really nice. I like this a lot. And where are they? Let's see. What else do we have in here? Warp nacelles. 1, 2. Stargazer. So there's more. 3. 4. Oh boy, that's gonna be so much fun to light all those up, but we're gonna do it. Oh, these go together a little bit nicer than the previous ones. I think he's fixed some of the tabs on these. Yeah, they definitely fit together nicer. And the pylons themselves, like I said, there's upper and lower pylons, and each one is 2 halves. Phaser detail on it. These are the lower pylons, and fairly nice. It's thin, but a nice wide channel, so that we'll be able to run brass, because these are so thin. They're gonna, unless you want your nacelles drooping, you're definitely gonna need to be running brass strips in here. This is a good resin though. He's using something different that's a little stronger from what he told me. So this is a good resin, but it's still going to need brass. You're not going to be able to get away with putting this together without some brass strips in there. Otherwise, your nacelles are going to go droopy. And here's the top pylons. I'm just taking one out. Same thing. Nice detail on that. Let's see if we can get in here. Phaser strip on that, and again, it's narrow, but it's a nice wide trench, so that you can run your wiring and your brass work through there. And then these are all the support pods. Now he did these a little funny, but it does make sense. The top support pod, this is the top of the top support pod. And he did this in clear in the white plastic, because there's some windows up here that you can get in with, and you can get in with LED light up here. And if you wanted to run some fiber optics and get the photon torpedo tubes up here. So he did this in clear, but the lower sections of the top pod are in this darker plastic here. Meanwhile, the bottom pods, the connector is actually in white here, because there's windows all along here that if you want to try and get those, if you want to snag those windows with an LED, that's why he put this in the clear plastic. Let me see if I can put one of these together real quick. I gotta match which one goes to where. And it's not those. I think those go to the top. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that fits well. And let's see, are there any alignment pins on these? Yeah, there's alignment tabs on the front and back, but there's still a lot of sanding that you have to do, just like with any 3D printed kit. There's a lot of sanding of the support nubbins that you'll have to do, so that you get a flush fit there. Let's see, this is a bottom pod. So and I haven't done this yet. I'm just dry fitting things here to see how they go in, if they go in nicely. And I'm trying this. Yep. and that'll fit like that. And everything's glued in. Some sanding and that'll be fine. So, nice. And the top pod here, let's see, no, I had it right. There'll be a nice big open section for this top pod. That's actually really cool, because what we'll be able to do for these top pods is you'll be able to glue these in along here with this, and you might even be able to extend your brass all the way through the pylon into the upper pod. So that'll keep it nice and snug. And again, 4 nacelles, which means lots more decals to do, lots more lighting to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now let's talk about those decals here. You've got 2 instruction pages. One is just for the registry, the name, registry, and placement guide. This is the one, I think this is for the non-Aztecs. And yeah, and this page is for all the wallpaper, all the Aztec decals. So here's the decal sheet that would come with the standard kit without the wallpaper decals. And it looks like you're just getting the one for the Stargazer. There's no alternate names here, but I mean, most of us are just doing the Stargazer anyway. But here's the wallpapers for the whole thing. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer here for you. That's all the top. Here's everything for the bottom. That is a lot of that. Doing all of this with masking is doable, but boy, that would be a lot of work. I'm really glad that he provided these. That's page 3. We got page 4. And page 5, I'm guessing, is the exact same. Yep. Oh, there's paper in between those two. There we go. Page 4 and page 5, just duplicates because there are 4 nacelles, so lots more decals to do. I still haven't done my decals for my warp nacelles on my own Intrepid, so... yeah, this is fantastic. This is beautiful. I do like the fact that he's got the pinstriping already on this decal here. That makes things a little bit easier. And there's like a darker pinstriping. It's not red. There's a darker gray pinstriping all along here, which I believe is accurate. Now, I actually had a 3D printed model of the Stargazer that I'd printed out a while ago. And it's not nearly as accurate, but it's still... This was still a pretty decent one. Here's the one that I had done some time ago. Compared to this here. Let's see if we can get in side by side. Yeah. Yep, that's pretty much exactly the same size, so there's no surprise there. This one has... The new one has a lot more detail in it than the original one here. This is fantastic. There's a ton of scribing in here. There's a lot more surface detail, but whew, yeah. And I'm going to try and get in a little bit closer one last time to show you some of that surface detail. It's kind of hard when it's white, but you can see some of the very, very fine scribe lines along in here, and many, many, many windows. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to need a very small brush or marker in order to knock out all of these windows here. That's gonna be a challenge, a fun challenge. Let's see, there we go. As I move it along like that, you get to see more of that detail. And the Stargazer did have a big open window in the bridge, and I know that some people are fine with that, some people hate that, but he did make it so that you can light it if you choose. There's a clear piece in the clear files that allows you to plug that in and light it up. But you can also paint it opaque if you're one of those who has a problem with having a big bridge window there, which is, it's understandable. But I mean, come on, it's the 24th, 25th century. If they want a window, I'm sure they can have one. And all of the windows for the shuttle bay areas are open as well. So that'll be nice. All in all, another really great kit. This is going to be a fun one to light up. Looking forward to it. And that should be a nice one to display when I get to it next to his Intrepid and his Titan A. There's the Enterprise G. And here is the Titan, or here's the Intrepid, where it's at right now anyway. Still have a little bit more work to do on that. But there's all three of them together, at least for a short while. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic model to build. Okay, let's get to building.